start the class. So properties of triangles, so far what we have seen is sine rule, cosine rule, Stewart's theorem. We have seen what is the meaning of this incircle, formulas for in radius, correct? We have seen 4 different versions of this formula and how to derive each of them. So we'll continue with x circles, and then we will move on to the orthocenter and the orthic triangle or pedal triangle. Then we will look at a few properties of this median centroid, and then miscellaneous, a few things are there, but more or less like this class we should be done with the remaining bits of properties of it. Okay, so let's start with this x circle. So in circle was created by internal angle bisectors, right? So in x circles, the way you make x circles is extend the sides, these external angle bisectors, make bisectors of these, right? This is an external angle. Let's say this is a bisector. Okay. So A, B, C. My bisector is a little wrong. It should be like this, right? And finally meet here. But X circle is a circle like this. It touches all 3 sides externally. Okay. So this side, and this side. It touches all 3 sides externally. I will draw a new figure. So how will you get this X circle? You will draw one internal angle bisector and extend it. Okay. Internal angle bisector of A angle. You extend it, and 2 external angle bisectors for B and C angle. Okay. So technically this angle is B. So this angle is 180 minus B. So half of that, this much is 90 minus B by 2. And this much is 90 minus B by 2. Right? So similarly, this is 90 minus C by 2. Okay. You understand? So what you have done is you have drawn bisectors to external angles of B and C. Therefore, clearly any point on this line should be equidistant from this side and this side, right?
Yeah.
So it should be, if you drop a perpendicular from this point to this line, this distance should be same as this distance, right? Drop a perpendicular from this to this, right? Now, same goes for any point on this external angle bisector. So it should be equidistant from this and this. And when they meet at a certain point, the point that is an intersection of those two lines will be equidistant from this and this and this, right? Correct? So because it is equidistant to these 3, now you can draw a circle from that point with radius equal to, say, some perpendicular distance r1, right? And that is equidistant, so it will touch all 3, right? Correct. So this perpendicular distance r1 is called radius or x circle radius, right? X radius. Now here, by convention, r1 is supposed to be the circle opposite to the vertex A, right? By convention, this one is supposed to be this circle. There will be another circle here like this, big one, which will be r2. The perpendicular distance will be r2 for that. And for C, there will be another big circle, which will be r3. Something like this for C. This will be r3. You understand? So what we will do is now, try to derive the relation of R1, R2, R3. What is R1, what is R2, and so on. So I'll draw a slightly better figure here. External angle bisector is like this, and this angle bisector is like this, and this angle bisector will be like this, joining this. This is this point is called X center, and we will label it as I1 maybe, because in center was I, right? X center is called I1. This is A, this is B, this is C. Okay. Now this point is equidistant from all three sides. So if I drop a perpendicular here, this perpendicular is called R1. Similarly, you can drop a perpendicular here. This perpendicular is called R1. And similarly, you can drop a perpendicular on this side. This distance is also called R1, right? Correct. This perpendicular, these are the points of tangency, right? This is where the circle touches.
Yeah.
There will be a circle like this, will touch, right? So this circle is called X circle. Our job is to try and find out the relationship of X circle, right? So what is the radius of that X circle? So this side is C, this side is B, this side is A. The whole side is A, B, C, right? Uh, let's label some of these points. Let's label it D, and let's call it E, and let's call this F. These are the points where the circle is tangent to it, right? Now, if you look at quadrilateral A, B, I1, C, right? Correct. You can find the area of this quadrilateral in two ways. You can do triangle ABC plus triangle BI1C is also equal to triangle ABI1 plus triangle ACI1. Correct? Because they are adding up to make the same quadrilateral, no? You can add it like this and this, or you can add like this one and this one, right? So triangle ABC area, we can write it as del plus what is triangle BI1C area? BI1C, this triangle area will be, think about it, isn't it half R1 into A?
Right.
Correct? Because this is the base A, this is R1 perpendicular, right? So what is triangle ABI1 area? ABI1, this triangle, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So isn't it half R1 into C? Think about it, this is perpendicular. This is base.
Okay.
The base, and this is the height, right? You have an obtuse type of triangle. If something like this was there, you would have said that this is the height R1, this is the base C. Correct? Plus triangle ACI1 will be half R1B, right?
Yeah.
So then easily now you're getting half R1 common. This is B plus C minus A, right? So delta is equal to R1 into B plus C minus A can be written as 2S minus 2A by 2. So delta is equal to R1 into S minus A, right? So therefore R1 is coming as delta by S minus A, right? You're getting that, right?
Yeah.
Notice that earlier we had gotten a similar result, R is equal to delta by S, right? For in circle radius, we had gotten R is equal to delta by S, and we had gotten that result also by doing areas, remember?
Yeah.
Taken the whole triangle area is equal to the 3 ABI1, ACI1 and so on, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So now notice the similarity in these relations. There is a pattern because See, delta by s, and this is delta by s minus a. Now, which one is greater? Which radius is bigger? This is
It, yeah, it's going to be R1 because S minus A is there.
s minus a is here, and there is ss here, right? So, doesn't it make sense? The size of this circle is smaller, no? This circle. In circle was r, right? In circle
Yeah.
is definitely smaller than this x circle. No, x circle looks so big, right?
Yeah.
So that is why s minus a instead of s.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And this is, we have done the derivation for r1. We can get similar formulas. R2 is delta by s minus b, and R3 is delta by s minus c, right? So
Yes.
by symmetry, R1 was the one opposite to A, and you got S minus A for it, right?
Mm.
Okay. So what I want you to see is, notice that this makes sense that this is delta by S minus A, not delta by S. Delta by S was smaller, right? And this is bigger, right? Now, we'll try to derive some alternative formulas for this as well. So let's try and focus on how else can we get it. So isn't this angle 90 minus b by 2, right? So 90 minus b by 2. So if you write tan of 90 minus b by 2, you should get perpendicular by base, right? So you get r1 by be, right?
Yeah.
So r1 can also be written as be. Tan 90 minus b by 2 is cot b by 2, right? So now our job is to somehow express this be in terms of some other values, so some triangle values, right? So how will we find be? So let's call be as our x. Okay, let's call be as x. So b is a point from where two tangents have been drawn to the big x circle, no? See, be and bd.
Mm. Yeah.
Correct. So be is x, then bd is also x.
Mm.
Two tangents of equal length can be drawn from a point, right? If this much is y, then this is also y similarly, right? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So now you have, also you have AD is also equal to AF, right?
Yes.
AD is also equal to AF. So you have C plus X.
Mm.
C plus X is equal to B plus Y,
Inverse.
right? You have C plus X is equal to B plus Y, and you have B plus C plus X plus Y is equal to S, right? Correct.
Yeah.
B plus
Yeah.
C plus X plus Y should be S, no?
Yeah.
No, it should be 2S.
V2 is X.
Perimeter. So X plus Y is coming as 2S minus B minus C, right? Correct.
Yeah.
And what is X minus Y coming? X minus Y is coming as B minus
Minus.
C, right? So if you
Yes.
add the two relations, what is 2x is
2X.
equal to 2s minus 2c, right? Correct.
Yeah.
So x is equal to s minus c. Okay, x is s minus c, and y is equal to s minus b. Some mistake we have made, because x should have been s minus b, I think. Uh, 1 second. Let's just look at it. X plus y, x plus y, x minus y is b minus c, and so B plus C plus X plus Y is 2S is correct. And C plus X. C plus X. Hmm. Y should come as S minus B here. According to this, X is S minus C, Y is S minus B, right?
Yeah.
Hmm, does that make sense? It seems to be correct from the equations. No, C plus X is equal to B plus Y, because the length of tangent from here should be equal to length of tangent from here. So C plus X is B plus Y, and B plus C plus X plus Y is equal to your 2S. So X plus Y is 2S minus B minus C, and X minus Y is B minus C. Okay, and if you add them, you get 2S minus 2C. 2S minus 2C is A plus B minus C. So X is S minus C. So, okay, I think it is correct only because BE was S minus C, B, BD, if this was a point, right? This was S minus B,
Yeah.
right? Which is correct. So, you remember in the earlier case, B to this point is S minus B, right?
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
in-circle derivation,
Yeah.
you remember?
Yeah.
You have gotten this distance, the point of tangency here. In this distance was S minus B. So if this distance was S minus B, in that case, this one was S minus C, no?
Yeah.
So now you're getting the X circle is here, meets here, and this big distance is S minus C, right? Which is making sense because S minus C was a big distance, no? For the same,
Yeah.
right? And this small distance is S minus B. So it is correct only. So now we get uh, S minus C cot, we should have gotten some form, S minus C cot B by 2 we are getting R1. So let's see, R1 is becoming BE cot B by 2, which is coming as S minus C cot B by 2. So basically something like S minus C by tan B by 2. Okay. Okay, we also have a relation. Uh, we also have a relation like if you draw a perpendicular uh, like this. This is your D, E, and this is your F. A, B, C. We have BE plus EC. BE plus EC is equal to A, right? Correct. So if you draw a right angle triangle like this, and this is R1, and this is 90 minus B by 2, 90 minus B by 2, and this is 90 minus C by 2, right? Correct. So then BE, what can we write? We can write tan 90 minus B by 2 is equal to R1 by BE. So R1 is equal to, or BE is equal to R1 by tan 90 minus B by 2. So cot B by 2. R1 by cot B by 2, or which is also BE is equal to R1 tan B by 2. Right? We have this relation, right? So this is R1 tan B by 2 plus CE will be R1 tan C by 2 is equal to A, right? So R1 will be A by tan B by 2 plus tan C by 2. Sin B by 2 by cos B by 2 plus sine c by 2 by cos c by 2, right? R1 is equal to, we get a cos b by 2 cos c by 2 by sine b by 2 cos c by 2 plus cos b by 2 sine c by 2, which is sine b plus c by 2, right?
Yeah.
Which is becoming sine 90 minus a by 2. So that is cos a by 2, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So we
Yeah.
have gotten this result. This result is similar to the result we got for small r, right? Small r was coming as c a sine b by 2 sine c by 2 by uh, cos a by 2, right? This
Yeah.
had come last week when we were done. This had come as our small r, right? And now see here, the difference is that all the angles became cos cos because the angle here became 90 minus b by 2 instead. B and C angles were 90 minus b by 2 and 90 minus c by 2, not just b by 2 and just c by 2, right? Right? So you got this
Yeah.
relation, this is correct. So now from here you can also get small a can be written as 2 capital R sine A, right?
Yeah.
So that will become 4 capital R sine A by 2 cos A by 2. So cos A by 2 gets cancelled and you get 4 capital R sine A by 2 cos B by 2 cos C by 2, right? So, so we will get actually 4 formulas we'll get. So for small r, we had these 4 formulas, no? Del by S, then we had A sine B by 2, sine C by 2 by cos A by 2. Then we had uh, S minus A tan A by 2. We also had 4R sine A by 2, sine B by 2, sine C by 2. Okay. These relations we had, correct?
Yeah.
Now for capital R1, you have similar relation. These are the relations. A cos B by 2, cos C by 2 by cos A by 2. This is actually will turn out to be S tan A by 2, and this will become 4R cos A by 2 sine 4R. We have 2 cos's and 1 sine, I think. So this is one sine. This will be sine A by 2, 4R sine A by 2, and 2 cos's, cos B by 2, cos C by 2. This is what we just got, no, right now,
Yeah.
right? So this and this is clear. This part is a little unclear right now. This part. This is also clear, right? What I want you to first notice is that, see, all of these changes to the formula make the R1 greater than R, right? See, right? And
Yeah.
here cos cos will be bigger than sine sine in a triangle
Yeah.
because uh, the triangle angles b by 2 c by 2 will be smaller angles, no? In smaller angles, both of them have to be less than 45, right? B by 2 and C by 2, because B by 2 and C by 2, if they are greater than 45, then B and C will be greater than 90. Both of them cannot be greater than 90.
Yeah.
So, smaller angles cos is bigger than sine. You see, this radius will be bigger than this, right?
Yeah.
And this formula is directly coming from here only. So there is no difference between this formula. Let's just focus our attention on this a little bit because I am not sure how, if that is clear. Uh, we have something like this. Uh, this angle was B, so this was B, and this is 180 minus B, so this is 90 minus B by 2. So we have, okay, we have tan of 90 minus B by 2, or cot of 90 minus B by 2 is what? Base by perpendicular, right?
Yeah.
So we have tan B by 2 here. tan b by 2 here, r1 by s. Tan a by 2 would have come from there. Tan a by 2 would have come from this one. So a is this. So, oh, okay, I got it. Wait. So let's draw a proper figure. Like this, and internal angle bisector was meeting, right? This point, let's say this point is your I1, right? So
Yeah.
drop a perpendicular like this. This distance is R1, no? And look at A,
Yeah.
B, C. See, I needed a formula in terms of tan A by 2, no? So this A by 2 is this, right?
Yeah.
So what is tan A by 2? Tan A by 2 is R1 by this distance, no? Right?
Yeah.
R1 by AD. We have to find AD distance, okay? That is our job, finding this AD distance. So
Yeah.
what I want to prove is that this AD distance is equal to semi-perimeter.
Okay.
So then the formula that we wrote S tan A by 2 is correct, right?
Yeah.
Prove that AD is semi-perimeter. If AD is equal to S, then S tan A by 2 is equal to R1. No? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's write down AD. AD is equal to AB plus BD, right? And BD is equal to this BE. BD is equal to BE, right? And so let's add 2AD should be AD plus AD, and AD is AB plus BD, right? 2AD should be this, should be AD plus another AD, which is AB plus BD, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So
Yeah.
we have AB plus AD plus BD, and this AD can be written as same as AF, right? This
Yeah.
AD, because this is point of tangency, right? So you can write it as AB plus AF plus BD, and AF can be written as AB plus AC plus CF plus BD, right? Now you already have two sides, AB plus AC, and CF can be written as CE plus BD. CE plus
Yeah.
BD, and BD can be written as BE, right? So CE plus BE becomes your BC.
So it becomes semi-perimeter. It becomes perimeter.
This becomes perimeter. So AD becomes this becomes 2S. So AD becomes S, right? You understand? So what we have figured out is that the length of the whole tangent from A to this X circle is equal to S. Okay.
Yeah.
And this distance we had earlier figured out as S minus C or something, right? And this
Yeah.
distance was S minus B. So then S minus C and S minus B, if you add, it becomes 2S minus B minus C, which is equal to A, right? So basically we know everything. We know this length is S. We know this much is S minus C and this much is S minus B. And we have this formula also. R1 is equal to S tan A by 2, right? Correct. So earlier in the previous class, we have also gotten the results of in center, the way angle bisectors bisect the sides, right?
Yeah.
This is to this will be this is to this, right? Remember we got that A, B, C, D. BD is to CD is equal to AB is to AC, right? And AB is to AC. then you can say that is C is to B, right?
Yeah.
This is C is to B. So VD can be CK and CD can be BK. And then you can say CK plus BK is equal to A. So K is equal to A by V plus C.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
since you got K, now you can write your CK. It will be AC by B plus C, and BK will be BC by B plus C, BA by B plus C, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these angle bisector theorem properties are still valid. So you can write similar properties for this also. This is an angle bisector, the A to I1, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So now we have gotten our formula for x circle radius in different versions of it. Now, whenever whenever there is a question involving this x and circle radius and all, right? What you have to do is draw the correct figure. You understand? Draw
Yeah.
draw a proper figure just like I have done, and
Yeah.
after that you know so many properties. You know that this angle is a by 2, this angle is a by 2. You know these angles. You know this much distance is s minus c, this much is s minus b. You know this whole distance is s, right? And this is perpendicular. So after that it's about choosing some particular triangle and finding out whatever you need to find out, right?
Yeah.
The reason we have done these derivations is so that you are convinced that these distances are these, right? And we have proved
Yeah.
it, so that you should also be able to prove and get all of these results. So if you yourself are able to prove and get all of the results, what will happen is that you will understand how to take it if in a different situation what to do, right? So if someone asks you now, find the join I1 I2 I3, right? Correct. So there will be similar bisectors here and all, right? And you will get an I2 and I3, right?
Hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Join, this is suppose
Hmm.
your I2. Join I2,
Right.
I1 and I3, and you'll make a triangle. You make a triangle here. This is going to be your I3, right? And
Yeah.
if someone asks, say, find the distance, say I1, I2, right?
Hmm.
Find the distance I1, I2, right? So you can find that out. You can
Yeah.
find that out because you know many things about these. You know many things about this triangle. Like this figure, what you know is this angle, you know, angles are 90 minus b
Hmm.
by 2 and so on, right? So first you will find, say, CI1 and then you find CI2, right? So try to find CI1, right? Which is
Yeah.
uh, which is length of an angle bisector of AI1F. No, no, not AI1F. Angle bisector is this angle is being bisected. This angle C. So if you want to find CI1, you will have to look at some appropriate triangle. Okay. So some appropriate triangle. One triangle that I can see is this triangle. No?
Hmm.
See this triangle.
Yeah.
So in this triangle, this distance is s minus b. You know this angle also. So now you can write
Hmm.
CI1. No?
Hmm. Yeah.
You understand? Oh, the point that I'm trying to make is if some unknown stuff is asked, right? You have to draw the
Hmm.
correct figure. And so I1 I2 distance was being asked. I2 is here, I1 is here, right? So first I said ki, okay, let me join and see what it looks like. And then I1 I2 is equal to C I1 plus C I2, right? Correct.
Yeah.
And if you want to find
Yeah.
CI1, let's find CI1. I first tried to look at a triangle like this, but or triangle like this, but these are more difficult than needed. Actually, this is also fine. This big triangle is also fine. AI1C is also fine, no? Because I know one angle A by 2, and I know this side is called B,
Right. Hmm.
right? So then I can write uh, tan of a by 2 is equal
Way
to
to, huh?
ci1 by b, right?
Right. Hmm.
So ci1 is equal to b tan a by 2, right? Correct. ci1 is equal to b tan a by 2, and similarly we can get ci2 also,
Hmm. Yeah.
correct? So
Yeah.
so then you can add ci1 plus ci2, right?
Yeah.
So uh, make sure that you understand the derivations. The understanding of the derivations and being able to draw the figure and think for yourself is the point that is important, not the actual formulas and all. Actual
Yeah.
formulas are not so important. You don't have to like worry about memorizing everything. Worry about can you derive all of them. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So next we come to orthocenter. Orthocenter. Okay. Orthocenter is point of intersection of the altitudes, right? Of
Hmm.
the altitudes of a triangle. Now, what is an altitude? It is a perpendicular from one vertex to the other side, right? A, B, C. I will make one perpendicular like this, right? Let's call it D. Another perpendicular like this. Let's call it F, E. And the third perpendicular like this. This is my F, right? This point, this point of intersection is called orthocenter. Let's call it H. Okay. Okay. So I have labeled all the points are labeled in this figure. What I want you to find is uh, join these with dotted lines FD,
Yeah.
FE, and DE. Okay. Triangle DEF is called the orthic triangle. Orthic
Okay.
triangle. Okay. So, or pedal triangle,
Hmm.
because feet of the perpendicular are being joined, right? The
Yeah.
point where they are perpendicular, the feet of the perpendicular are being joined. Okay, so that is why it's called pedal triangle, or you can just call it orthic triangle. So now,
Hmm.
uh, first I want you to find angles, all the angles. Suppose, for
Okay.
example, angle ABE, angle EBC, angle A, angle ACF,
Hmm.
angle BCF, and so on. Okay. Then I want you to find distance HD and distance HA.
Hmm.
Try and think of how
Yeah.
to find HD and HA. Okay. Try and think on how to find HD and HA. You have like 4 5 minutes. First find the angles, then find the distances. Okay. Okay. 4 5 minutes you have. Just try it. Okay, are you getting the angles?
No.
ABE, angle ABE. It's very easy. This angle is A, no?
Yeah.
So this angle is 90, right?
Yeah. So that's 90 minus A.
90 minus A. This will be 90 minus C. This will be 90 minus A. This will be 90 minus B.
Yeah.
This much will be 90 minus
You can
B.
90 minus A type.
What?
We can just express it as 90 minus A.
Yeah. So,
Then I got it.
okay. So all of the angles are 90 minus in terms of the angles of the triangle, right?
Right.
So we had perpendicular from here, and this is perpendicular, and we had this perpendicular. That's it.
Yeah.
This is A, B, C, and this was my H, right? So we got that this angle is 90 minus C, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And this angle was 90 minus A. So now this is BD, right? So first let's find out what is BD.
Okay.
BD in terms of the side of the triangle and angles of the triangles, right? So BD will be, if you write uh, this big side, actually this big
Yeah.
side is called C, no?
Yeah.
So BD must be C cos B,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this much is C cos B, right? So BD is C cos B. Then look at triangle HBD, right?
Yeah.
Triangle HBD. In that triangle, this angle is 90 minus c, and this side is known, which is c cos b.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can do cos
Tan
theta,
90.
cos of
Okay.
say 90 minus c will be equal to base by hypotenuse, right?
Yeah.
So BD by BH, right? Correct.
Yeah.
So BH is equal to BD by cos 90 minus c is sin c.
Yeah.
So BD is equal to C cos B by sin C, right? Correct.
Right.
So BH has come as C by sin C is 2R, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Because by sine rule, A by sin A is equal to 2R, right? So 2R cos B is coming as
Okay.
BH, right? Right.
Yeah.
So BH we have gotten, BD we have gotten. So HT also we can do same way. So say tan of 90 minus C, right, is equal
Hmm.
to perpendicular by base. So HT by C,
BD.
C cos B, right?
Huh.
So
Yeah.
C cos B into tan 90 minus C is cot C, right? So
Huh.
cos C by sin C, right, is equal to HT.
Yeah.
C by sin C again you can write as 2R, so it becomes 2R cos B cos C, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will just summarize the results in the other page. So there is this situation, and we have this is a perpendicular, this is a perpendicular, A, B, C, this is D, this is H. Okay. So we got BD as C cos B, we got HD as 2R cos B cos C, right? And we also got
Hmm.
HB. We got it as 2R cos B, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Now, what we know now is distance of, this is what? This is distance of orthocenter from vertex, no?
Yeah.
Distance of orthocenter from vertex B is equal to 2R cos B, right? So HB, HA, and HC will be similar, will be 2R cos B, 2R cos A, and 2R cos C. In triangles, like if you get one result, then you get all the symmetric results. You understand? So
Yeah.
there is no difference. You can do the same thing for the other angle also, right?
Yeah.
So now this is a standard result that you should know. Now distance
Hmm.
of orthocenter H from the sides AB, BC, and CA are AB, the distance from the side AB will be some E, this is F, this is HE, BC side it is HD, and
Hmm.
CA side it is HF, right? And this we had gotten as 2R cos B cos C. So now you can predict that this will be 2R cos A cos B, and this will
Hmm.
be 2R cos C cos A. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Symmetrical results. Okay. So distance of orthocenter from the sides is
Yeah.
2R cos B cos C, and distance of
Hmm.
orthocenter from the vertices is 2R cos A, 2R cos B, 2R cos C, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we want to derive is, what is this? This
Hmm.
triangle if we join, right? Let's find out the angles of the triangle and the sides of the triangle. Okay. This orthic triangle is orthic triangle is triangle DEF. Okay.
Yeah.
So now look at this angle, right?
Hmm.
That angle is how much is what we want to figure out, both the angles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now in quadrilateral HDFC, right? Look at
Hmm.
quadrilateral HDFC. HDFC is a cyclic quadrilateral, no?
Huh.
Because this is 90 and this is also 90.
Huh.
Opposite angles are summing up to be 180 degrees. So it's a cyclic quadrilateral.
Yeah.
So once it is a cyclic quadrilateral, we know now that a circle can be drawn through HFCD, right? Some
Hmm.
circle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If a circle can be drawn, then we have these chord properties, the angle properties that, for example, if you take this chord, HD chord, you can make an
Yeah.
angle like this,
Hmm.
and that angle will be same as this angle, right? Because
Hmm.
H, D, F, C are a cyclic
Hmm.
quadrilateral, right?
Hmm.
So what we can say is, think of chord HF.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
chord HF is subtending an angle at a point on the circle, this
Hmm.
angle. This angle should be
Yeah.
same as the same chord subtending another angle at this point, no?
Yeah.
Like this angle, right?
Hmm.
So this angle we had already found from previous discussion, 90 minus A, right?
Yeah.
So this angle must be 90 minus A,
Right.
correct?
Hmm. Yeah.
So uh, similarly, quadrilateral HEBD is also cyclic because this is 90 and this is 90.
Hmm. Yeah.
So again, chord HE, look at chord HE, it is subtending this angle here, so it will subtend same angle here. So this
Yeah.
angle is equal to 90 minus A again.
Yeah.
So this second part of this angle is also 90 minus A. So both the
Hmm.
parts are 90 minus A, right?
Hmm.
Correct. So the overall angle becomes 180 minus 2A, 180 minus 2B, and 180
Hmm.
minus 2C, the angles of the pedal triangle or orthic triangle.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all the angles of the triangle I know now. Okay. Now think about one more thing that comes from here. This is 90 minus A and this is 90 minus A. So this HD line is a bisector, no? Angle bisector.
Yeah.
Angle bisector. Correct?
Hmm.
So if HD is an angle bisector, so HF and HE will also be angle bisectors,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
point of intersection of angle bisectors is called incenter, no?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
orthocenter H is the incenter of triangle DEF,
Hmm.
of triangle DEF. You understand? This
Yeah.
point H is the point of intersection of angle bisector, no? So it is in center
Hmm.
of the smaller triangle, orthic triangle. So
Yeah.
orthocenter of the big triangle is in center of the smaller triangle, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now another thing that we want to find out is sides of this triangle. So that I will find in a different page. So let's say we have something like this. This is the orthocenter, let's say. This is the orthocenter H. This is D. This is D. This is E. And this is F. This is A, B, and C. We want to find the sides of this triangle. So, for example, DE we want to find, and DF we want to find, and so on, right?
Hmm.
So, to find DE, let's focus our. See, now this is a question. that can come many times, in the sense that this is the type of question that will come in your exam, where some unknown distance which you don't know, you will have to find, right?
Yeah.
Right now DE you don't know, so now you have to find that. So
Yeah.
let's think of finding a triangle for which you know some stuff, where DE is a part of the distance, right? This is H, this is E, this is D. This is one triangle where DE is there, right?
Yeah.
We know this angle is 90 minus A. We know, we right now don't know this angle, but we also know HE length, right? HE length is distance of orthocenter from the side, right? Side AB, right? So
Yeah.
this we have derived earlier. It is 2r cos A cos B. And this distance is 2r cos B cos C, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay. So we know two sides and one angle. Two sides and one angle we know. If you join this, do you know? You know this angle also. This angle will be equal to this angle, no?
Yeah.
So this angle is 90 minus C. Do you know this angle also? 90 minus C, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So now I know
Yeah.
90 minus C is this, 90 minus A is this. So this angle is A plus C,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? A plus C, correct.
Yeah.
And I want to find this side, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So now we can just do sine rule in this. We can say that
Yeah.
this side is called X. So X by sine A plus C, right? Should be equal to any one of them. So this HE by sine of this, right?
Yeah.
So 2r cos A cos B by sine of 90 minus A,
It
correct?
is basically.
Correct, no? So
Yeah.
okay. So this becomes sine A plus C is what? Sine A plus C is sine B, right? In a triangle,
Yeah.
is equal to 2r cos A cos B by, this is cos A cancels. X is equal to 2r sine B cos B, right? Correct.
Yeah.
So now this becomes uh, A by sine A is equal to 2r, or B by sine B is equal to 2r, right?
Yeah.
B by sine B into sine B cos B becomes B cos B. You can also write it as R sine of 2B is
Okay.
equal to B cos B, right?
Hmm.
So notice
Yeah.
that this side, which is opposite to this side of the orthic triangle, which is opposite to the B vertex, is coming, the length of this side is coming as B cos B or R sine 2B, right? So the other sides will be A cos A and C cos C, right?
Yeah.
These are the sides of the orthic triangle, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we know sides and angles of the orthic triangle. Angles of the orthic triangle are pi minus 2a, pi minus 2b, pi minus 2c, and so on, right?
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
also know the sides of the orthic triangle, right? So
Yeah.
this is, after this, everything else you can find. Whatever else is needed, you can find. So the point is to get whatever distance or whatever thing you need to find out about a triangle, you have to get it in terms of known stuff. So put that distance in some known triangle. Maybe here we found that HDE triangle, I know some sides and all, right? I
Yeah.
know some sides and I know one angle. I actually found two angles. So I found all three angles, right?
Yeah.
Or all three angles we know, and we knew two sides from the previous derivation, HD and HE.
Yeah.
Once you know all angles and one side also, it is enough. all angles and two sides are more than enough to get everything else, right? Third side. So to find the third side, I just did simply sine rule in this triangle. Opposite
Yeah.
angle by side is in same ratio for each of the angles, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So the way to think about it is important. The results themselves are not so important. Anyway, uh, now uh, we come to this circumcenter, orthocenter, and centroid. All these three points, right? We know what a circumcenter is, we know orthocenter, we know centroid now, right? So that these 3 points lie on a line. So so if I want to draw orthocenter, I will draw a perpendicular like this and one
Yeah.
perpendicular like this. This is my orthocenter H, okay? Or you can call it O, whatever you want to call it, that's fine. So H, then perpendicular bisector, I will draw perpendiculars from the midpoint. This is my circumcenter C, right?
Yeah.
And for centroid, I will draw medians. So medians is joining these 2 points and this point.
Hmm.
So this is my G. So what is happening is this is a straight line,
Yeah.
HGC. This is a straight line, HGC. So HGC. If you call this O, you get orthocenter or orthocenter can be called H or O, and G is centroid, and circumcenter is C. Then what we have is this is called the Euler line. After
Okay.
the scientist Euler, or mathematician Euler, who first found out that these three lie on a line. Okay, then what happens is this is the ratio is 2:1.
Hmm.
So basically the
Yeah.
ratio is ONGC, where O is orthocenter, the G is centroid, and this is circumcenter.
What does N stand for?
N is called 9-point center. We'll come to that later. Right now it is not important. We'll come to that later. So you need to know that OG is 2 and this is 1. Okay, 2:1 ratio. So OG is to GC, or you can write it also as HG is to GC is equal to 2:1 for any triangle. Okay, now
Yeah.
this is important to know. Uh, this result we'll use and we'll get many things. So for example, let's suppose we want to find out distance between orthocenter and circumcenter of a triangle. Let's do an example. Basically, orthocenter and circumcenter of a triangle.
Yeah.
So orthocenter, I'm trying to draw altitudes, so this is H, and now I'll try to draw perpendicular bisectors. Perpendicular bisector will be like this and like this is O.
Yeah.
Okay, or this is circumcenter, so this can be called a C. CH distance I need. Okay, distance CH is what, right? That is the question. So let's label it A, B, C. Okay, now this is H, so this is DH, and this is circumcenter. Circumcenter is point which is equidistant from all the three vertices, right?
Yeah.
Now think about what you will do here to find CH. To find CH, what will you do? What is the idea? So right now CH is hanging in the middle of the triangle, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like an arbitrary distance which is not part of anything, right? So the first thing to do is to make it part of some triangle. Okay, so if you need to find some stuff in a triangle, you need to at least make it part of a triangle, no? Because you know many things about triangles but you don't know things about hanging distances, right? So
Yeah.
I will join B and H and C and B, right? So I get a triangle like this, right?
Yeah.
B H C. In this triangle I need to find out this distance x, right?
Yeah.
So what all stuff do you know about this triangle? So first of all, BC is the radius capital R, no?
Yeah.
And BH is distance of orthocenter from one of the vertices.
Yeah.
So we know that this is 2R cos B. This is a derivation that we did earlier today, right? Distance of
Hmm.
orthocenter from the vertices, right, is 2R cos B.
Yeah.
Correct, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is this angle? This angle we know, no, from earlier today. This angle is 90 minus A.
Thank you very much.
And what is this angle? We can find this angle also. This angle we did in the last class because circumcenter is the center of the circle, right? So,
Yeah.
so like this, circle is like this. So angle at A is A. So the angle here is 2A, no?
Yeah.
And this triangle is congruent to this triangle. So this angle is A, right?
Yes, very much.
You understand? This is A. So
Yeah.
this must be 90 minus A. So the angle in the middle now you can find, no? It is B, total angle is B minus 2 times 90 minus A, right?
Right.
So this becomes 2A plus B minus 180, right? So that becomes
Yeah.
2A plus B minus A minus B minus C, right?
Hmm.
This cancels, so it is A minus C,
Yeah.
right? So this
Yeah.
angle is A minus C,
Hmm.
right? So now
Yeah.
our job is just to find the third, right? Third side. You know two sides and included angle, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
so now it is obvious what to do. You can do sine rule. No, you cannot do
Hmm.
sine rule because you don't know these angles. So I will not do sine rule. I'll do cos rule, right?
Yeah.
Cos of A minus C, cos A minus C is equal to BH square plus CB square minus X square by 2BH into CB.
Yeah.
And I know everything BH and CB I know, right? Only X I have to find, right?
Yeah.
So this becomes x square is equal to bh square plus cb square minus 2bh cb
Hmm.
cos a minus c, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Bh square is 4r square cos square b plus cb square is r square minus 2
Yeah.
r square cos b into cos a minus c, right?
Yeah.
So x square, this is equal to, this cos b is minus cos a plus c, right? So I can remove this minus, make it plus, and make it cos a plus c, right?
Hmm.
So it will become 4r square cos square b plus r square plus 2r square cos a plus c into cos a minus c is cos square a minus sin square c.
Hmm.
So cos square a minus sin square c, right? Correct.
Yeah.
So you get 2r square cos square a minus 2r square sin square c. Okay. Now r square I can take common. It becomes 4 cos square b plus 1 plus 2 cos square a minus 2 sin square c, right?
Right.
Correct. So
Yeah.
this is now minus 2 plus 2. Okay. Okay. So 1 minus 2 sin square c is sin 2c, right?
Yeah.
And all the other ones also can be converted into sin cos 2b and cos 2a, right? No,
Yeah.
this is cos 2c and this is cos this. These also can be converted into cos 2a, cos 2b and all, right? Now it's a matter of simplifying basically. X square is equal to this, no?
Yeah.
So you have actually gotten the x in terms of this, right?
Yeah.
X in terms of all the stuff that is known about the triangle, right? So now in the book you will find the simplification. Like we can also do it, but I don't want to do it. So in the book you can find the simplification. I think it is r into root over 1 minus 8 cos a cos b cos c. You can see the
Okay.
proof. Uh,
Uh,
this is a nice looking formula. You can
yeah.
find the distance between any triangles orthocenter and circumcenter, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
uh, Anyway, here also it is correct. It will be the same thing. Just check out the proof now and check out the proof given in the book. So distance between orthocenter and circumcenter. You can also find distance between uh, circumcenter and incenter, right? You can find any distance,
Yeah.
any such distance, right? Now, what I want you to do is look at exercise. I think it is exercise 37 or something, the last exercise. So basically, there
In
are two
SLO.
in SL there are in chapter 15 there are
Yeah.
two exercises. One is the preliminary exercise which comes after the in circle and x circle derivations, right? Once you go know
Okay.
your r1 formulas, right? There is one
Yeah.
exercise which has a lot of identities that you have to prove. You have to prove identities like this:
Yeah.
4 capital R plus small r and so on, right?
Yeah.
That is that
Yeah.
proving identities exercise. In that exercise, what you have to do is try to get it from uh, formulas that you have derived. All the formulas and results that have been derived, use those to prove this. Okay, that
Yeah.
is one. And the
Exercise.
second exercise has some 40 questions or so. That is about proving stuff about triangles, proving results about triangles. So it will start with
Okay.
asking you find the distance.
Hmm.
Find, there are a lot of questions there. Find
Hmm.
distance I1, I2, and so on. There are many questions there. And slowly it
Yeah.
will come to different cases about triangles. So I want you to attempt these two exercises, okay, in SL only.
I see the first one.
You have tried the first one,
Yeah. The R1 types.
but
R1 plus R.
correct. So the first one will not have been over now, no, right now, because R1 and all we had not discussed in the last class. So both of these
Ah,
exercises, both these exercises are very important. It's very important that you try to do every question in those exercises,
okay.
every question. And once you are doing a question, try to see what connections you are seeing in the triangles and the properties of triangles, and mark which questions are difficult and how you got it, what is a problem. Every question that is a problem you should ask me. Next class what we'll do is we'll discuss questions from Esseloni in both these exercises. Okay,
Sure.
we'll just do the questions. So make notes for this. Don't just do it and forget about it. Okay, make some notes for anything new that you find or any result that is proving to be difficult. So basically the work involved will be revising the chapter theory, the derivations and everything, and then trying all the questions. Okay. Next class we'll just discuss problems from SL only. So chapter is more or less over. There's
Yeah.
nothing
So
theoretically that is left. Okay.
yeah.
So
Okay.
this is actually the last chapter in trigonometry. We might do one or two more topics. We might do one or two more topics in the next few chapters. So summation of series we will do that chapter. But more or less trigonometry is this much only. And once you master this chapter 15 properly, everything else will be trivial. Okay. So just do it properly.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two more classes, two or maximum three classes more will have trigonometry. After that, we'll go on to other topics. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will see you on Monday then.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah.